Jack Ebling and Dan Kilbridge here, press coverage for 24/7 Sports. Dan, off-season speculation centering on Michigan State coaching staff changes. Obviously now we know that Don Treadwell has gone to Miami of Ohio and taken a couple of East Lansing stars with him, Spencer Treadwell and Tyler Tucker. Congratulations to them, but that does create opportunity for Mark D'Antonio.
It certainly does, and it also presents a choice whether you hire someone already on staff or you look outside for someone else who can maybe do some different things for you. You know, plenty of good candidates on this staff, but also some great ones outside that could really make a difference. So that's going to be something that he's going to have to think long and hard about. He's been such a loyal guy, so I'm sure it would be maybe tougher for him to go outside the program, but if that's something that he needs to do, then maybe that's the best way to go.
Well, it should be pretty clear. Michigan State's made great progress. The question is, to get to the next level, to be able to play against an SEC team on New Year's Day, they're going to have to upgrade the talent level. That presents a recruiting challenge. It also means that the coaching opportunity there now opens a door for that. Let's look internally first, because one of the options for Mark D'Antonio is to promote from within to the coordinator position and then add a position coach. What about the coaches who are already on staff?
Well, you've got Brad Salem, and he's the one with head coaching experience in Division II out in Sioux Falls. So he did a nice job there that brought him here, and he did such a good job with the stable of running backs this year. He's a young guy, so maybe he's a candidate. Coach Roshar has been around for a long time and coached a lot of different places. And also Dave Warner has worked as an offensive coordinator before at UConn, worked with the wide receivers position. So there's a couple of attractive candidates in-house. You're just not sure, if those are maybe the right guys.
Mark Staten, also another name that's been mentioned. So there are a lot of choices for Mark D'Antonio. We know he's very loyal to his staff. We know they're going to get every consideration. But there's also the option of going outside and bringing in a big name, someone who's familiar with Michigan State. And the name that comes to the fore, and not sure he would be interested in this, so a lot of people who have spoken to him think he's pretty happy at Tennessee, is Charlie Baggett.
You can't think of a better fit here. It seems like he's been such a good recruiter over the years, had so much experience at Michigan State working with guys like Derek Mason, Plexico Burris, those star receivers, and then you look at what he was able to do in the NFL with the Minnesota Vikings, Coach Chris Carter, Randy Moss, those playmakers, and with the MSU ties, I mean, you'd think he would be a really good fit if interested. He almost has everything you want for this position.
Well, he's as good as recruiter as Michigan State has ever had at this school. And I know that he's very happy. Talking with him this afternoon, he hasn't been contacted by Michigan State, so maybe put that speculation to rest for the time being. But if Michigan State does promote from within, that's going to open up a position opportunity. And a lot of people would love to be a position coach at Michigan State. I know I've talked to Herb Haygood, and there are a number of people who are former Spartans who would love to come back. Cedric Irvin has talked about wanting to come back. There's so many people who have that inclination.
Yeah, and you'd think this is a great setup for an up-and-coming coach. You see Dan Enos get the Central Michigan job. Now we have Treadwell moving on, so it looks like this is a place with this coaching staff where you can get a job at the next level coming through as a position coach or maybe even internally there. So I think right now with the state of the program, some good recruiting classes the past couple of years, much better than they have been earlier in the decade. You certainly would think that the program is heading in the right direction, and that's something that most coaches would want to be a part of.
Well, and with this constant shuffle, there may be another assistant or two or three who would have opportunities to move on. But one thing about Mark D'Antonio, he has developed some assistant coaches who are now in position to be head coaches. We saw that last year with Dan Enos. Now we see it with Don Treadwell. And that has to hold up very well for an assistant who wants to someday have that #1 job.
And I think he does a lot of delegating to his assistants, maybe more than most coaches. And that sort of prepares them when they can, put together a game plan and take a more active role in the week of preparation on game day. I think that gives them the experience that they need in order to do that. And I think that's something that other programs maybe look at and really look highly upon.
And Michigan State has to finish out its recruiting class. Very important work to be done. Doran Grant announced he was going to Ohio State, so that was a marquee player for Michigan State that the Spartans did not land. They have a lot of work to finish up before they get ready for spring practice, get healthy, and as Kirk Cousins said, our job doesn't end at the end of this season. This is the beginning of 2011. Jack Ebling here with Dan Kilbridge, press coverage for 24/7 Sports.